The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is already one of the most discussed upcoming flagships, and a lot of expectations have been circulating around its camera upgrades, especially the 3x telephoto sensor. But now, new information coming from reliable insiders is bringing some clarity to what's actually happening with the device. According to the official CAD-based renders, the S26 Ultra has become slightly thinner, but the camera bump area for the 3x telephoto lens has not changed. This is important because if the physical space of the module didn't increase, the sensor itself cannot get larger. So the idea of a bigger 3x sensor was never realistic. Exynos confirms that the S26 Ultra will continue to use a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto sensor with f/2.4 and a 1/3.94-inch size consistent with the design constraints. He also addressed some misinformation. Recently, some rumors claim that the S26 Ultra would come with a 5,400 mAh battery. Exynos states that this is false. Samsung finalized the 5,000 mAh battery capacity long ago. Changing the battery would require redesigning the internal structure and redoing certification testing, which is not happening at this stage of production. On charging speed, Anthony, the Galax, cleared up the confusion by confirming that 60-watt fast charging for the S26 Ultra was never in doubt. References to this charging rate were found directly in One UI system code, so any claim of a lower charging speed is simply incorrect. Exynos also summarized what he claims are the final camera specifications for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. 200-megapixel main camera, f/1.4, 1/1, 3-inch. 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera, f/1.9, 1/2.52-inch, 50-megapixel 5x telephoto, f/2.9, 1/2.52-inch, 10-megapixel 3x telephoto, f/2.4, 1/3.94-inch. So overall, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is focusing on refinement rather than major hardware overhauls. A leaker at Chun 8888, who has shared information based on debug tests, essentially early tests for what is now nearing the final stage of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, reported new details as the device moves closer to mass production. Meanwhile, Exynos added comments about the widely discussed 60-watt fast charging based on these same test results. Another source at SPYGO 19726, who claims access to internal documents and discussions with engineers, has suggested that Samsung's Exynos 2600 chipset could play an important role in camera performance improvements. According to Chun, the Galaxy S26 Ultra's camera sensor configuration in the debug testing is as follows: 200-megapixel HP2 main sensor, 50-megapixel JN3 ultra-wide, 12-megapixel 5K3 LD3X telephoto, 50-megapixel IMX854 periscope 5X, 12-megapixel IMX874 front camera. The main difference compared to the S25 Ultra is the switch from the older 10-megapixel 3X sensor with the 1/1.39 size to the newer 12-megapixel K3 sensor. The rest of the setup remains the same as the S25 Ultra. Exynos reaffirmed that he has consistently stated the device would support 60-watt charging, not 45-watt, and now the test data confirms this. According to him, the S26 Ultra has indeed made notable improvements in charging speed. Additionally, at SPYGO 19726 claims the Exynos 2600 will deliver major upgrades in camera processing. The chip is said to support up to a 320-megapixel main sensor and offer enhanced HDR and RAW capture capabilities. Even if Samsung does not include a 320-megapixel sensor in the S26 Ultra, the improved image processing should still result in much better low-light performance, higher detail levels, and more accurate colors in final photos. Exynos compared the display panels of the S25 Ultra and S26 Ultra side by side. The S26 Ultra appears slightly taller and narrower, which could enhance comfort during one-handed use. The corners are also more rounded than the sharper edges seen on the S25 Ultra, giving the device a softer and more updated design. Exynos also shared a new comparison video between the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the upcoming Galaxy S26 Ultra, and the biggest change is once again the display. The bezels are another noticeable change. Earlier renders showed extremely thin and perfectly uniform bezel, which seemed almost unrealistic. The updated renders still feature slim bezel, but they appear more practical and balanced, consistent with Samsung's recent flagship designs. The frame has also been refined. Instead of a completely flat profile with sharp edges, the newer design adds a slight curve, making the phone more comfortable to hold. According to Exynos, this adjustment is likely aimed at improving ergonomics. We also get a comparison between the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This image reveals that the iPhone 17 Pro Max will have more rounded corners than Samsung's upcoming device. Recently, discussions have surfaced about a potential price increase, a tough call for Samsung, as higher prices could impact overall sales. However, it seems this decision may not be entirely within Samsung's control. A new report from South Korea indicates that rising component costs across the industry are making a price hike for the Galaxy S26 series almost unavoidable. According to a recent Samsung Electronics report, chipset prices have risen by 12% compared to last year's average, while camera module costs are up by 8%. Mobile DRAM prices have also surged by 16% since the first quarter of this year. This could help explain why Samsung prioritized developing its own Exynos 2600 for the Galaxy S26 series, as it's expected to be more cost-effective than sourcing Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon chip. If the price increase does occur, it's expected to fall between $50 and $100, consistent with Samsung's typical adjustments during past generational upgrades. According to Ice Universe on X, images of what appeared to be tempered glass protectors for the Galaxy S26, Galaxy S26 Plus, and Galaxy S26 Ultra have been shared. From the image, it's clear that all three protectors feature rounded corners, indicating that the displays of each model will follow the same design approach, something previously suggested by earlier renders. The protectors also imply that all three devices will have uniformly sized bezels, which appear to be extremely slim. However, whether they are thinner than the bezels on the Galaxy S25 series remains uncertain. That comparison can only be confirmed once we have exact measurements or a direct side-by-side evaluation after Samsung officially unveils the new lineup. According to tipster Jason C., Samsung's next-gen Exynos 2600 is a serious upgrade built on the company's advanced 2-in-GAA process. It features a 10-core CPU setup with a 3.8 GHz prime core, 3 cores at 3.26 GHz, and 6 at 2.76 GHz. The chip delivers up to 30% better AI and NPU performance, a brand new GPU design, and improved cooling with Samsung's new Heat Pass block system. Early Geekbench 6 results show around 3,300 in single-core and 11,200 in multi-core performance, putting it right up there with Apple and Qualcomm's best. Jason also shared some big updates about the Galaxy S26 lineup. The entire series is getting upgraded telephoto cameras, while the S26 Ultra will feature a larger main sensor with a wider aperture. All models will now use M14 QHD displays for sharper visuals, and Samsung is reportedly testing a larger battery exceeding 5,000 mAh. And here's the most interesting part. The Exynos 2600 may not be limited to the base or plus versions. Jason suggests even the Ultra could run on it in select regions, marking a strong comeback for Samsung's in-house chip. If these leaks hold true, the Galaxy S26 Ultra could set a new standard. Faster, cooler, sharper, and smarter than anything Samsung has built before. According to tipster Jason C., Samsung has officially confirmed AI and camera upgrades for the Galaxy S26 series, though he warned of a potential price increase tied to the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip. This suggests Samsung is going all in on performance and imaging, even if it means a higher price tag this time. Meanwhile, a detailed report from Notebook Check reveals that Samsung is finally making significant improvements to its telephoto system. The 3x optical zoom lens, which previously used a smaller 10-megapixel sensor, is being replaced with a larger 12-megapixel one, measuring 1/2.55 inches compared to the old 1/3.52-inch sensor. This change should greatly enhance light capture, clarity, and detail, especially in low-light situations. But the real excitement lies in the 5x periscope telephoto lens. Leaks suggest it's being upgraded to a 50-megapixel sensor, possibly featuring a wider f/2.9 aperture versus f/3.4 on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. That means brighter zoom shots, reduced noise, and sharper detail even when zoomed in from a distance. As for the main camera, Samsung seems to be retaining its 200-megapixel sensor, but insiders hint at a larger overall sensor size, possibly around 1/1.1 inch, to allow even more light and richer dynamic range. The ultra-wide camera is also rumored to jump to 50 megapixels. Let's wait and see what the Galaxy S26 Ultra truly delivers when it officially launches. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Peace out.